So occasionally games will come by that kind of surprise me at times, and I actually had talked to Image Inform Games before about SteamWorld Quest, and I like the SteamWorld series. Like, SteamWorld Dig 2 was really fun when that came out, and I enjoyed it. It was kind of like a Metroidvania style game. This was a bit different. This is SteamWorld Quest. It is developed by Image Inform, and it's published by Thunderful Publishing, and it's out on the 25th, so in 2 days you can pick this up on the Nintendo Switch. They said they had plans for other platforms to follow later on, which I assume would be like PC, PS4, Xbox One, probably everywhere else it can go as well, so they can obviously get more sales. But the reason I was a little unsure about this game was because it's not usually something I would play, which has to do with like a card-based RPG. I like RPGs that are more traditional, I guess, with a menu system you go through and everything, and this was a bit different because it kind of combines that with deck building. Now, there are some card games that I like Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy, so it's not like I don't like any of them, but this was a weird concept, and I wasn't really sure how much I would enjoy it, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, which surprised me a bit. This is actually going to be $24.99 when it comes out on the 25th, and I figured we'd play a little bit here so you can check this out and see what you think. Now, as you're seeing here, we're kind of playing a couple different characters, and you'll see some here as we go. They have like conversation through text, as you see, and the general idea is pretty straightforward. You're trying to stop evildoers from essentially destroying the world, unleashing ancient powers and everything. Oh, they're trying to go through crafting cards. I'm not going to do that right now. But what I did was I went back to a previous chapter that's earlier on, because you can look through all the different chapters that they have, and you can go back to other ones to grind new levels, of course, find treasure that was left behind that you missed, or just kind of build up your gold, for example. So there are reasons to go back. So let's actually go in here. You do have a full overworld that you run around in. There's an enemy there, and you can actually swing at them to kind of gain the advantage on them. So I'm actually going to swing at this little hornet bee thing with a big drill stinger. And actually missed him there. But you're pretty much thrown right into, as you can see here, you have your deck at the bottom. I have 3 characters on the left. They are, for the most part, characters you have earlier on. And we're going to go ahead and jump through here as we go. So we have our basic attacks, which are these cards. And then you have cards that need more, essentially mana is the idea. And you build them up as you use cards that don't need those requirements. This one has a 1 for the gear, and that is actually auto regen for my entire party. And I also have Wrecking Ball, which needs 3, and that'll, of course, do, as you see there, 235 points of damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build up with the guy at the top, or green guy at the top, by using a couple of his normal punches like that, and then I can actually do his regen. And because I'm using all cards, 3 of them you get to pick, for him, I'll get a bonus as well. Right there. So you like a chain. So he's actually going to go ahead and attack the hornet guy at the top, and should go ahead and take him out without too much issue. 1 punch, 2 punches, then he has his regen, and then he gets his 4th card that he gets to use. Now, the cards are interesting because they have abilities outside of just doing damage and healing yourselves. They have poison, of course, that's one. They have like confusion. As you can see, the hornets actually casts something on itself to make it harder to hit at this point for its evade. So there is a lot going into this, and you can also change out cards. So let's say I don't want Wrecking Ball. I can hold this, press X, and I have Intercept there. And let me see if I can actually... Okay, so I don't actually have enough there, but I can do Brave Buster and try to hit him and end him in 1 shot. Otherwise, I'll go and electrocute him. So we'll have... Yep. Shield goes. She misses. She'll go again. Missed again, and then we'll have our mage at the bottom there take a shot. So everyone missed, but you kind of get the idea here with the card battling, which is cool. So he's a counter punch, auto regen, and then we'll actually attack again, and we should actually get rid of them right away. You can also fast forward, so I'm actually using ZR to fast forward here, and there we go, we win. You do get experience. I've been through this quite a few times. I'm kind of overpowered for it right now at level 17 across the board there. So I'm not exactly going into this part looking to level, but I will get gold. You'll get materials because there is full crafting as well. And it said I actually missed, because I have 75%, so I must have missed a treasure here somewhere. Although I'm looking at the map and it looks pretty good. So I'm not sure there, but let me actually go down here. We'll go back to the store, and you can craft cards as well. So here's a bunch of cards that I can actually craft, and they have different abilities. Deals physical damage to one foe at the cost of some of Armalee's health. And they have ones you can actually gain that will have benefits based on, I believe it's how many of those mana pieces or the gear cogs that you're willing to use all at once. So all in, for example, will build up as you go. And the idea here is as you gain more and more materials, you can then craft better and stronger cards, which will of course make you stronger, but your characters also level up so that their HP, attack, and everything goes up. There is a lot going on here when it comes to kind of the card-based system and strategizing whether you want a character, for example, to be massively support-driven, like the character here. Has Provoke, for example, Blindside, basically things that will help your party, but then also hurt your enemies through ways of status ailments and just kind of messing with them a bit. So there are ways you can go, but you can also go all offense for them as well. The Mage, of course, has different abilities that come to magic, and then you also have accessories, whether it is armor pieces and things. So there's a lot going on here for customization. Let me actually go in here and go to decks, and we'll actually get the Armalees, and you can add cards in and take them out. They have a total of 8 cards that I can use currently, and at that point you can remove them or add more of them. So it's pretty cool for the idea of trying to build a deck for each character that kind of works with each other, and that way you can have an easier time, or I guess you could technically make it harder on yourself if you wanted to, for whatever reason, when it comes to this. Now, I said the story isn't like super memorable, and I think people who are fans of like the SteamWorld series will get a kick out of it. The placement and the timeline and everything is kind of guarded right now so that it's not spoiled for you. So I think if you've been following kind of the SteamWorld lore, you'll enjoy it for the story and everything. But I think you can jump in without the knowledge of like the SteamWorld series in general and still have fun here, just with like the overall gameplay itself. Again, I was very surprised with how the game played, because remember, this isn't a normal thing that they've done. This was them kind of going out, taking a chance on something new, and I have to say it actually worked out pretty well for them, more so than I thought it was going to do, just in general, because it was new. One of the things that is a bit of a shame is it's not a super long game. It's not a game that's going to I guess last for very long to play through. You can blast through this game in, I think, under 10 hours at that point. You can go back and do other stuff, of course, but for the most part, you're going to play through it, you're going to finish it, and then you're kind of going to be left wanting a bit more, especially for like $25. But I do think you can have some fun and get a lot out of it, especially when it comes to crafting all the cards, collecting everything, and 100% of the game. I think you'll get closer to 15 hours out of this game, like, total. I think I'd also like to see a bit more customization when it comes to leveling up your characters with, like, for example, when you level up, you have attribute points that you can set rather than them tell you what happens. So when you level up, it'll tell you, oh, your character gains this much more attack power, or your character just gains this much more health. I know a lot of traditional RPGs will do that, but to kind of get to a point where you can customize where your points go would be really, really cool as well, just in case they try to go a bit further. I mean, they did SteamWorld Dig and then SteamWorld Dig 2. So if they could do something along the lines of, I guess, just more in-depth when it comes to the leveling system, I think that would be pretty cool as well. And I'm also curious if they want to do more with the inventory system, whether you can do things like augment, like have like sockets that you can augment and everything, and have different slots. That would be pretty cool as well. I think there's a really good like base to kind of build off of if they want to do a SteamWorld Quest 2, and I think that's kind of the most exciting part. Is this is their first shot. They did a very good job with it. But like if I go into weapons, you have a weapon here, and then you don't have anything that can kind of branch off of it. So if we could have things that we could put on them, that would be pretty cool as well, just to further customize the experience, because it's great that you collect cards, but I also really like that they still stuck with leveling for your characters. I think that's pretty awesome as well, because technically some of these games where you just get cards and stuff, you don't actually level up your characters, you just collect more cards. So they did a good job, I think, merging RPG and just card game, but I still think they can do better if they decide to do another one. However, I think this game is one that a lot of SteamWorld fans are going to enjoy, and I do enjoy this game, despite not necessarily liking the RPG card system, like, merging going on with other games. But hey, they did a good job. Image Informed Games, good for them, and I would recommend checking it out. It's on the Switch on the 25th for $25, and other systems should follow later on as well. They just seem to want to get it on the Switch, probably because of how indie games are doing right now on the system. And again, it plays 1080p 60 frames docked, 720p 60 frames in handheld. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you think about SteamWorld Quest. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not, and I'll see you in the next video.